Last episode, let's go. Season 2 is wrapping up.
I didn't know we were going to make it this far.
I know, it was touch and go for a bit. Life got very busy, you know? So here's to finishing what we started for the second time.
For the second time. Yes.
Yay.
We've talked to each other for more than 20 hours.
I know, right? It's not long. Low-key like 4 times that amount, but
Right.
Recorded that much.
Yeah, that's probably how much we talk in like 1 month.
Yeah.
It's been sweet though.
I know. This has been growing so beautifully.
Oh man. I just think about like where we were last year when we started season 2.
Yeah.
Where were everything that was unfolding.
Paint a picture.
Well, I remember that first collage that we created, and it was on a whim. Mm-hmm. And
for the playlist.
Mm-hmm. And it didn't start out being for the playlist. I remember you telling me, just take a break, maybe create a collage and watch Insecure and just have a morning to yourself, because I was having a really hard day at another place that we shall not speak of. And then we decided from there that we wanted to start doing monthly collages. And I remember in that collage specifically, so much of it was like, what if everything does work out? And I think that has been almost the thesis of this entire season for us.
Yeah, I just wanted to show you that our sign has changed to commemorate our episode 10.
We're definitely missing one letter.
Oh yeah, I couldn't find it. I'm so sorry. Okay. It wasn't gonna work.
We're committed to the unpolished.
There wasn't a second letter for me, so I felt like that word was still like pretty easy to read without it.
Yeah.
So it wasn't with intention.
I didn't notice until you pointed it out. So,
I kind of forgot that I did that, not gonna lie, until right now.
That was in the weeds of the nights. Yep.
Yeah, but there was missing letters, and I was like, how are we gonna make this work? Mm-hmm. But the E's are important everywhere else, so.
Right.
It's fine.
I understand.
Don't forget, we know how to spell.
We're academics.
Yes, exactly. I went to school for a long time.
Yeah. I went to school for a long time.
Okay, let's see what else is happening. It was on your birthday. Mm-hmm. We went apple picking. There was an election. A bunch of stuff.
We went to New York for 24 hours.
That's true, for 24 hours. I was in yoga training.
Yes.
Yeah, it was my 1-year anniversary at my job. Mm-hmm. What a time. And then even a year further back, we were like, I was unemployed.
Yep.
I was definitely in the sunken place.
I was sad.
You were sad. You were really sad. Yeah. You were me too. Sad. I had a contract. I was like, I have to make money somehow, some way. Mm-hmm. Yeah, it was really struggle season for real. And like, this has been consistently there through, all of that.
Yeah.
For 2 years. So shout out to the podcast.
I know. I can't believe it's almost been 2 years.
For being a constant space for us. Mm-hmm. To circle back to.
Yeah. I know. I feel like this is one way that we're archiving our experience.
Yes.
Even if we don't remember it in real time, we can always return.
I always forget after we record, we talk about, literally, I'm like, Then I watch it, I'm like, oh yeah. I remember that.
We was making sense. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, we're getting old.
I know. But in the most beautiful way. Mm-hmm. In the most beautiful, beautiful way.
With intention and thoughtfulness.
Care.
Yeah. Some rest in there.
Yeah.
We're making some skincare products, sharing with people.
I know. And at the beginning of the season, we talked about our dreams and some of the things that we wanted to see come to fruition. And I feel like the last few weeks have been a testament to that. Like, you taught your first yoga class this morning. I was so happy to be there, to experience it, and to just see you, return to being a teacher was really beautiful.
I really missed that. Yeah, it took 2 years for me to get back to a place where I was like, facilitating doesn't count to me. It feels like a different skill. But, teaching, I definitely have missed it. So it was very nice I forgot how like familiar it is, even though it's very different. I thought I'd be more nervous, but I was like, oh yeah.
Of course,
I got this. It's just body movement versus like, academic movement, but energy is the same.
How did this morning feel?
easier than I thought, honestly.
Oh, okay.
I think I was like, I don't. You prepare for anything like a class, whatever. Like it's always gonna be like, oh my god, did I plan enough? Whatever it is.
Yeah.
I low key planned only half a sequence. My sequence was really like 25 minutes.
Yeah.
But I knew that as a teacher, like I'll never go over time. I know how to plan for an hour. So in my head, I was like, we're just gonna do more stuff until we get to 10:52.
Yeah.
And then we'll have 8 minutes Shavasana. I was like, I got it. So it was nice to just like to be able to like free play, even though it was like early for me. I think that was like that was the learning curve I was afraid of when I was practicing. Because I was like, I have to be moving my body in front of people. Like fuck. But I really enjoyed it. People seemed so receptive. I think it was hard for me because people were doing exactly what I was saying. I was like, oh, you guys are not moving until I give you a direction. Got it. We're all gonna like, we're doing Simon Says today. Okay. Like, I feel like when I'm in a class, I don't listen. I kind of just go on my own pace. So I had to really like make sure that I wasn't rushing because they were really just doing it as long as I said to. Yeah. Which I don't think I'm used to. So.
What was the theme for this morning's class?
It was about rootedness on the ground. I think all my yoga classes I've ever taught, literally ever, have always been about the ground.
Yeah, you're always like, consider the ground.
I
love the ground.
I think that they're like, I feel like everything else pulls you out of your body, like up into the sky or like into your head or whatever it is, and like we forget that we're standing somewhere. Like you're not floating. Like you can just like stop moving for a second and remember that you are physically on something supporting you. Yeah. And I feel like I need a constant reminder. So I think I've decided that's just going to be the theme of my yoga world. Might change, but it's felt easy so far. And people really don't remember. I'm like, you guys, like, you're standing up with your feet on something else.
And that's not once moving. Have you considered your feet?
Yeah. And like, it's not going to fall underneath you. Like, it might feel that way, but you are still, unless you're in an earthquake, like, the ground is a pretty constant, stable place when nothing else, Yeah,
that's one of my favorite aspects of yoga and just any physical movement is the reminder that my body is my teacher and that my body is consistently supporting me. And I remember that when something stops functioning. Yeah, you're like, wow. Whenever you get sick, I'm like, oh my God, I used to breathe through both of my nostrils. What? That was without even thinking about it or considering it. Yeah. Like I had a friend who like, she sprained her big toe. And she was like, oh, I can walk. I was like, yeah. That I know you don't think about it, but like your pinky, whatever it is, like it's gonna mess up your entire ability to like navigate space. Yeah. So how was it for you as a person in the class? It was very gentle and like very nourishing. I told you that I like pulled something in my upper back while I was washing my hair, and it just hurt. It hurt so much, and then I walked into class. And by the end of it, it's just such a good reminder that you just need 1 hour to be with yourself. I will say that I find that I'm moving fast consistently. And the opportunities that I have to slow down and to rest feel more difficult these days than they normally do. And so I appreciate the invitation for slowness because I'm like, oh, I'm thinking about this and I'm thinking about this and I need to move towards this. And there's a benefit in moving slower and considering every body part and just considering every next step or every movement. Yeah, it's also it's a skill to also like slow down. It's hard. I think we kind of discount the ability to like just don't decide yet. Slow down. Yeah. I feel like all of my like there's like at least 3 tattoos I have that are about like just pause. Yeah. Wait a second. I know, and I wanted to ask you about your best thing because that's something that happened recently too. And we were talking about like the philosophy behind it and the connection to Toni Morrison. I don't think that a lot of people know that we kind of have the same tattoo. Oh yeah, it's like a full sentence. It's the same, like it's the exact same paragraph from the exact same book. And we did not like plan it. Yeah, it happened like years apart. We didn't plan it. Yeah, no planning. Years apart. But it speaks to how aligned we are in like life and why talking to you is so easy. So tell me about your best thing. As like the quote concept. Or okay. Well, I mean the quote initially, I think I initially found it like in high school and I never like understood it. I was always just like, who's your best thing? Who, like I was like, because it wasn't I, it was your, and like in the context of the story, it was meant to be like a reminder.
to the character, right? Like it was written as like a reminder. And I think
tell us more about the book before.
Oh yeah. Okay. Well, I mean, there's 2 points. So, like I saw it in a Toni Morrison, I think it's Beloved.
It is Beloved.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Okay. In Beloved. And it was like, it was a way to remind the main character that if nothing else, like if all the things around you are falling apart, like take care of yourself. Like remember that you also belong to yourself. And I don't think, when I first read it, I don't think I was old enough to like appreciate the like lesson or the like the depth of that. But it always stuck with me. And then a few years later, I think it was during COVID, when, you know, the world, my life, everything was just completely falling to pieces. There's another book that I found. I have it somewhere. I don't know where it is right now. But it's also called Your Best Thing. Yeah. It's a collection of stories. And that was a title. And the title was pulled from the same text. And I just like finding that book again in the time of life that I was in was such a like happenstance. I found it in an airport. Like it was like a random like moment in my life that I was like, wow, like what are the odds that like these words are reappearing when I feel like I'm not thinking about myself like at all, you know, like I was making a lot of decisions that were not centering me. And I'm the kind of person, when I think about tattoos, like tattoos to me are like lessons learned.
Right.
I feel like trauma lives in your body, you know, everywhere. And I think that we hold on to them and like they are permanent also. And for me, I'm like, why not make something positive also permanent? I think is my philosophy around tattoos. And like, I feel like I try to get tattoos when I feel like I have internalized a lesson in some way. And I think it was like 2021 when I got this tattoo. So it says, you are your best thing. And it was a reminder for me to like, to consider myself, to consider my experience, to consider that like, I'm important to me, or I need to be important to myself. So it's just a good philosophy to have. In terms of how it relates, that's the question. So your best thing to me is like it's an umbrella that kind of encompasses like, how do you think about yourself? How do you consider your experience in the world? In what ways do you consider your experience? It could be through conversations, like the messy part. It could be through taking care of your skin, taking care of your health, taking care of your friends, your wellness. All those things are all encompassed in the way that you show up, right? Because best is centered, your best thing. So what are you going to do for yourself? Give yourself the best things. You know, take care of yourself in the slowest ways. Create your best community, whatever that might look like. So that's kind of the like concept around your best thing.
Mm-hmm. And I love it so much because it's a mantra, it's an affirmation. It's a
call to action.
It's a call to action. And it's a reminder. Like tattoos to me aren't necessarily about lessons learned. They're more reminders. And that to me is a beautiful, beautiful reminder to consistently make the choice to remind yourself that you are your best thing. Regardless of what happens to you, regardless of who you are, you have inherent value. And that is something that you have to practice and believe in yourself. Yeah. I remember when I went to a retreat a few years ago, it was probably like March 2023, and the leader of the retreat was talking about value and reminded us that we have to value ourselves first. And I don't know, it wasn't profound. She wasn't saying anything radical. And in that moment, I was like, oh shit, like, do I value myself? Do I ever put myself first? Have I been taught to do that? And I'll never forget that moment because it just opened up a whole world for me. I was like, oh shit, like I need to take care of me, and not in a way that's selfish or that the belief that other people won't take care of me, but that like I have a duty and a right to do that for myself.
Yeah.
And that is like, I live in this body. I have to take care of this body in every which way that I know, and that I can always learn to care for myself. And again, like caring for yourself is connected to everything, to everything else. Yeah.
Do you want to share your sentence?
My tattoo says, we need some kind of tomorrow. And I got it in September of 2023. And it's also from Beloved, maybe like 2 sentences before yours. Do you mind pulling the book out for me?
I got it. Okay, so I actually have both. I have both Beloved. And I also have the other book I was talking about. It's called You Are Your Best Thing. Vulnerability, Shame, Resilience, and the Black Experience. It is a great book. Everyone
10 out of 10.
Yeah, really, as you can see, it is
10 out of 10.
Well read.
So it's basically almost towards the end of the book. I forget who's speaking. Oh, Paul D. That's okay. That's what I thought. It says Seth, he says, me and you, we got more yesterday than anybody. We need some kind of tomorrow. He leans over and takes her hand. With the other, he touches her face. You're your best thing, Seth. You are. His holding fingers are holding hers. Me. So beautiful.
So good.
It's so beautiful. And I got the quote in a time of my life where I needed to remember that there was another tomorrow. Like I needed to be reminded that regardless of what I have been through, regardless of what I have seen previously, that there was something to look forward to, and that there was a path ahead for me. And I didn't know what it was going to look like, and I had no idea of what was in front of me. And I have to believe that even on my hardest days, I have to still live, and I have to remember that tomorrow may be a different day. And not to get like too intense, but like I'm not someone who has necessarily dealt with suicidal ideation, but it's something that I consistently think about. Of there's so many of us who just have really, really difficult days, and we don't necessarily know if something else will come along the way. Or people who deal with depression or anxiety, like all of this manifests in thinking about just seeing the world from a cloudy lens and not knowing what else is possible for you. And to me, it's just a philosophy. Like tomorrow. If today is horrible, tomorrow is another day. And may I have the opportunity to wake up and experience that other day. So that's what it means to me. And it's connected to what she was saying, right? Like we have more yesterday than anybody. We need some kind of tomorrow. It's just a beautiful mantra. And every time people read it, they're like, okay.
Yeah. I get the same reaction. And they're like, who's your best thing? I'm like, you. Like, you know?
Yeah.
And then people are like, oh, it's not written in I. And I'm like, yeah, because I'm saying it to myself. Mm-hmm. Like, it's easy for me, like, Linda, like, you are your best. I can say it to myself. You can say it to yourself. But the reaction is similar. And I'm like, it's okay. Mm-hmm. It's for me. So it doesn't, so it's not, it's okay if they don't understand. But the fact that it made its way to be a title of a book, I think means that people understand the sentiment, right? Yeah. The sentiment of like, you have to care about yourself enough to make it to tomorrow, right? Like tomorrow will come, whatever that may look like. And even if it doesn't come, there's still some value in like giving yourself a good, beautiful experience to the best of your ability. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So
love that for us.
Happenstance.
Yeah.
Somehow we ended up getting versions of the same tattoo.
It speaks to our spirit as academics, you know. Of course, it's a quote from a book.
Of course.
And of course, it's Toni Morrison.
Of course.
You know, like.
And I said this before, I don't have any words on my body. Mm-hmm. I've always been very adamant about that because words are so important and meaningful to me that when I got this, I said, this is worthy of me remembering and me looking at it every single day. Like I have symbols that, that symbolize things, but words are difficult.
Yeah. I think I have a different philosophy. I have more words than symbols. I think symbols are harder for me. I think for me, words, because they're affirmations and reminders, they feel like things that I repeat and hold closer to me. Mm-hmm. So like the only other person I have who's not myself tattooed is Audre Lorde.
Yeah.
You know, I feel therefore I can be free. Like it's such a like profound statement to me. It's such an expressive and like open-hearted experience to kind of think about your life in the world in that way. But I agree, words are definitely important, and being mindful of who's you're listening to.
Yeah,
is mindful.
Yeah. It's so funny because this is reminding me of something that happened the other day where I was in a meeting and people were sharing their trade. And I said, I'm an academic by trade. And I was so ashamed to be an academic.
Why?
Because
academia is a lot. Yeah.
I had dreams and they were shattered in academia. And
only one pathway though.
Right. And this is a reminder that we still love reading. We still love books. We're still academics in the ways that we are, that I don't have to have a stamp from an institution to say that I am this thing.
Yeah.
And I am because I have the degrees.
Right.
First and foremost.
Right.
And but it still feels sour some days. Yeah. And so
that's okay. That's fair.
Yeah, I feel like I'll be
Tomorrow will
grieving
come.
that
Tomorrow
for the
will
rest of
come.
my life, though.
We're gonna get back to grieving a little bit later.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think for me, like getting words that I have told myself on my body is like, I think almost like a anti-academia thing, because I'm like, is it research? I'm like, I researched it, so yes. But I'm like, am I citing myself? No, like it's just gonna sit here for me. And I think like sometimes when people see, like, what's an example, for as long as it makes sense, I think is when I people ask me about a lot, and I'm just like, it's not a complicated statement, like it kind of just is what it is, like engage with anything for as long as it makes sense, and when it's not making sense to you, disengage,
let it go.
So there's just like, there's a couple others that I just, people are like, like, why did you get that? I'm like, I don't want to explain. I'm not interested. And also, like, I don't want to defend something to people. And, like, depending on who asks, I'll explain. But sometimes it feels like people are trying to be like, where did it come from? I'm like, me. And I'm like, if you think that's odd, then, like, it's okay. It's not your body. I'm not asking you to get my words tattooed on your body.
But you could do it if you wanted to.
I have one friend who has a drawing that I made for her tattooed. And I was like, wow, you love me. It's crazy.
That's beautiful.
Yeah. And I think one quote. So it's been an interesting, like, I really appreciate tattoos. And I know people have a range of opinions about like getting them, whatever it may be, and like I just feel like there's so many other things that are permanent that I'm like, this is not the only permanent thing that exists in you or on you, that is like, maybe it's invisible, but like your trauma lives on you, in you, so I'm like, well, there's something about like taking some of that power back of like putting things on you that also feel like your choice in some ways. That's how I see it. But yay to tattoos, and yay to Audrey and to Tony. Love them deeply.
Our beautiful ancestors.
I'm really glad that we're circling back to academia in this last episode of our because I feel like when we first started, before we were like planning for our episode, we talked about like, how do we want to ground all of our episodes? And we had this like very long, elaborate plan about like referencing academia in every episode, whatever it may be. And we did it pretty organically. So I'm just glad that like we're finding our way back to some of the things that we told ourselves we would do.
Yeah. And also recognizing that sometimes we don't change.
Yeah.
And that is okay.
And maybe now we're choosing it,
Yeah.
versus just like stumbling into something.
Yeah.
Go us.
Go us. Yeah. You know what's something that has been true for us, maybe before we even started doing the podcast together, is that we always do stuff just for shits and giggles. And so over the last year, we've been working on this game. And a few weeks ago, we were at a bar casually on a Friday night.
A very like lit place, actually. People were like drinking.
It was going to turn into a club. They had dollar wings.
You had tea.
Lit. It was lit. And here, Linda and I are on our little laptop working, reviewing our questions. And this guy next to us, who ended up buying a sweatshirt on a whim, we love him. He was like, what are you guys doing? And we're like, oh, we're working on a game. He was like, why? Because we want to. And that was...
He didn't seem to like... He was just like, there has to be more of a reason. Like...
Yeah, it didn't compute for him. And that was such an organic and funny moment for us because we genuinely just wanted to do it.
We're having a great time.
Yeah.
Yep. I like that for us. Shout out to this game. Eventually it will exist in real life.
Exactly.
We're gonna get there. But yeah, I love that moment because one, we were so not the vibe of the place. Like you had a green tea, I think, or a black tea or something. You were drinking tea. I think I had a drink. I think I had a drink, but because I felt socially obligated to the space we were in. But like we were just both doing work. I don't think we got any food. Yeah, but he was like clearly very lit and like But we got merch purchased, so
yeah.
We're always working. Exactly. All right, so we should play some of this game because we have some of our questions.
Yes, we do.
We have some cue cards with this beautiful drawing on it.
Yes, from our dearest friend, Maria Claudia.
Shout out to her. So beautiful.
We love you.
Thank you. All right, I guess I'm going to start. Okay, here's an easy question. I guess I should explain the game a little bit first.
Yeah.
So we have played a lot of question asking games. There's a few out there. I won't name any. Just there are a lot of them. And I think, at least for me, correct me if you feel differently, but like I feel like the questions are always like kind of easy to answer. Like they felt simple a little bit. And I feel like Adeline and I have really good complicated questions. So we were like, why don't we create a game called The Messy Part, given, the theme of our podcast. So we started building these questions almost a year ago, I feel like at this point.
Yeah.
It is finally wrapped up in terms of questions, just a matter of now creating it. So here's our intro to the game. It's called The Messy Part, a Game. Know Your People, a game dedicated to fostering connection and intimacy in all the relationships in your life. So this is not a game just for people who are dating. It's a game for anybody who is in relationship to you in any way. So there's 3 parts. There's the easy part. So these questions are like generally, hopefully easier to answer. Then there's the messy part. You know, things get interesting and spicy. Then there's the hardest part, or the hard part. So questions that are like more complicated, maybe more personal, and you get to kind of decide the ones you want to answer. So we're gonna kind of answer some of those questions with each other. Are you ready?
Yes, I'm ready.
All right. Here's an easy question for you. What's the best compliment you've ever received?
The best compliment that I've ever received. There's so many. 2 that I'll share is that I'm very grounded. Regardless of who I meet, that is usually a word that is associated with me pretty easily and like within the first impression. And then a lot of people really like my voice.
I think I've given you that compliment before.
And I'm so grateful. I'm like, sure.
You're like, damn, I can't change it.
So fucking awkward every time. It makes me feel so awkward. So yes. And then the last one is that I'm intelligent, which matters a lot to me.
Yes, as an academic, I mean,
yes,
that makes sense.
I have to remember that I too am smart. What about for you?
I love that. I've given you, I think, all those compliments.
You have?
Yeah, I definitely agree. Yeah, your voice. You should start recording. I don't know what they have those apps, meditation apps. They're looking for like mellow voices. I don't know how much they pay, but I definitely think you should do it. Okay. The ones I received. I think the 2 I can think of top of my mind is I think people always say that I help people feel like comfortable sharing, like just by like existing near them, which I'm like, I love that for me. I don't know what I'm doing, but like I'm so glad that is the experience people are having. I think I've seen it. I've seen people who've been like rude to other people, like be nice to me, and I'm like, it's because I'm not rude to you. Okay, got it. And the second one I think is that I ask really good questions.
Yes.
I think that like when people come to me for like advice or whatever it may be, like I think I work really hard not to add information to the story, but try to be like, let's explore. So I've heard that I give people a space and ask good questions. And those are all very important to me, you know, as an academic, as a researcher. I'm like, yes, question asking is a very good skill set to have. Okay, your turn.
Okay. I want to ask you another question. Can you share 2 facts about yourself and 1 lie? And I'll try to guess which one's the lie.
Okay, is this a messy question?
Yes, it's leading to the messy part.
Okay, leading to messy. Okay. So 2 facts and a lie. Oh man, I thought about this for a long time and didn't come up with anything. So we'll see. Okay, my 3. I'm afraid of confrontation. I'm afraid of heights, and I'm afraid of disappointing others.
Okay.
Which one's the lie?
You're afraid of disappointing others. You don't like confrontation.
I'm afraid of heights.
You're afraid of heights.
One of those is not true. I think I did a good job.
3 isn't true. You're not scared of disappointing others?
I'm terrified of disappointing others.
Oh, damn. Okay, well.
The lie is confrontation.
You don't like confrontation?
Oh, no, I'm not afraid of it.
Oh, you're not afraid of it?
No, I'm not afraid of it.
I feel like I heard you are afraid of confrontation.
No, I'm not afraid of confrontation. Did I say I'm afraid? I'm confused now. I'm afraid. Oh, yeah, that's the lie, that I'm afraid.
Oh, right. The lie is that you are afraid.
Right.
Okay.
I'm not afraid.
Like,
yeah, no, I'm not afraid. I think my method is always pretty calm, so, you know, it doesn't scare me. But I'm definitely afraid of heights. And definitely afraid of disappointing people. Almost like too much. Sometimes I need to disappoint people and I don't. I should disappoint them. I'm just scared
there's
too.
a lesson there for you.
All right, okay, your turn. 2 facts and a lie. That was challenging, by the way, because you know me really well.
I know, but I feel like mine are so...
I try to make it hard.
Raggedy.
Okay.
Okay. I've lived in almost 7 countries.
Okay.
Hold on. I've lived in 7 countries. The first time I had sex, I was 15. And I cry during arguments often.
Fuck, it's so hard. Oh no.
That took me a while. I'm sorry.
Which one's the lie? Do you cry to humans? I don't know. I'm gonna say sex at 15 is a lie.
It's not.
Damn, which one's a lie?
I cried during arguments.
That's a lie?
Yeah.
That's crazy. I cry in arguments all the time, almost immediately.
Yeah.
Almost instantly. So wait, so you do or you?
I don't.
You don't cry.
That's the lie.
Wow, teach me. How do you do that?
I don't know.
I get so frustrated immediately that I'm like in tears.
Yeah, I know a few of you that
It's
do
so
that.
annoying. I hate it so much. So I'm like, I'm being very dead ass, and I can't like.
Yeah, I don't cry because I'm frustrated. I cry because like, I'm hurt or something.
Yeah. No, I cry only out of
different.
frustration.
Yeah.
So annoying.
Yeah.
Damn it. Wow. Okay. This is good for us.
I know.
Too.
I was gonna be more specific with the has sex at 15. I was like, you know what? We're
That's
just gonna
broad
pause
enough.
there.
In my head, I was like, maybe it's a lie. But yo, good for you for not crying in arguments.
I will
It's a
say
skill that I need.
This is a total sidebar, but my high school boyfriend, I used to sneak into his house through the windows.
The windows
added there.
Yo, in my head, I'm imagining a New York apartment and the windows. That don't seem like.
They lived in like a little house, but yes. Those were the
love that for
days.
you.
Why did I think that was okay?
I don't know. Where were his parents?
There were cameras all around the house.
That's crazy.
So he knew exactly how to get me inside.
Without the cameras seeing you? Y'all are wild. Shout out to him
Shout out to him.
for keeping you safe.
Ooh.
Wow. Hilarious. All right. Okay, my turn. Okay, this is a messy question.
Yes.
What part of yourself are you actively trying to unlearn? I know.
It's very clear. I just don't know how to describe it.
Okay.
So
We like first drafts here, so go ahead.
the only way that I can think about it is that I'm trying to unlearn my professionalism.
Oh,
which
okay.
is
Interesting. Okay.
I just feel like I'm a little bit more stiff than other people, if that makes sense. Like, I'd be experiencing some things and I'd be like, I would never do that at work. I would never show up at work like that. So I am trying to remember that I can be professional and still be like funny and lively and whatever, and not be scared of how I'm being perceived.
I love that for you.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's a good one.
Professionalism is a white supremacist
Oh,
concept.
of course
and
it
so,
is. Yeah, I don't mean nothing.
Yeah. Like, someone the other day was like, talk your shit. And I was like, okay.
You're like, you say shit at work?
I was like, oh my God, this is terrifying. So anyway, that's what I'm trying
That's a
to
good learning
unlearn.
curve for you. I like that.
I know. And I was talking to someone else and I said, not everything that you unlearn have to be a bad thing.
Yeah. Yeah.
Like,
I don't think that's a bad thing.
yeah.
Let's see. What am I trying to unlearn? Probably a lot of stuff. I'm always trying to unlearn stuff. Let's see. I think in my head I have one like work related and one that's not work related. My work related one, I think I'm trying maybe more accept than unlearn. That answers the question. But I think I'm more trying to like, people keep putting me in positions to lead things and I keep being like, whoa, I'm not trying to be in charge of nobody. Nothing, you know, like I'm like almost like anti being responsible for stuff at my job. And I think I need to like unlearn like that I'm capable of it or like that I like should be. So I'm trying to like get better at accepting this position that keeps being put on my plate. Clearly there's like some sort of reason that I'm not seeing. And I get my work done, so I don't know what the issue is, but I'm definitely trying to unlearn like holding myself back from things people are giving me a chance to do. We'll see how that goes. I'll keep you updated. Maybe season 3 we'll talk about it. I think like in my I guess not work life, which is still my life. It's all one, you know. I think I'm trying to unlearn the need to finish everything. Sometimes you can leave things unfinished, and that's just kind of fine.
Oof.
Yeah, I'm really like, it's really hard for me not to finish things I started, and I don't, and then I feel really guilty about it. So it's not a productive like circle for me. So I think I'm trying to unlearn the like need to finish everything. Sometimes some things can be left alone. Working on it.
I like that.
Yeah,
like
haven't gone there at all. Remotely close, but you know, I have the idea in my head though. I'm like, yeah. I'm like, let that go. So we'll see.
Yeah. And it goes to this idea of your best today may not be your best tomorrow.
Yeah.
And so whatever 100% looks like today is what it will look like
today. I'll have mad energy, and then tomorrow I'm like, yeah, please don't even like, you know, Yeah. So trying to let go of, like, if you don't want something anymore, release it.
Yeah.
So yeah.
I like that a lot.
Thank you.
Well, in that same vein, the question that I have for you is, what's something you know you are avoiding? On the long list.
Yeah, many things. Avoiding. I think I'm definitely, this is more as it relates to like professionalism or work, I think, but I think I'm definitely avoiding talking my shit. Like owning my, like, my resume, if you want to call it, or like my, like, the things I've done. I definitely 1,004% downplay my experience in every space I'm asked about it in. And it's so annoying because I'll hear myself do it. I'm like, Linda, like, why are you doing that? Like, I'll hear it and I still won't be able to kind of like correct myself. So
Yeah.
I'm definitely avoiding, like, saying like I am this person, or like I do these things, and I don't know what the issue is. There's some sort of disconnect happening in my brain.
Yeah.
But I need to like stop avoiding that because it's getting in my way of getting paid. So I gotta stop.
Yes.
All right, your turn. What are you avoiding?
This is the hardest question for me because I don't know. I feel like what I'm avoiding is not conscious to me yet.
Okay. You can't see it yet.
I can't see it yet. Like, it may be underneath layers.
Yeah.
So I don't know right now.
I think that's okay. That's a good answer. Yeah. During the game, that can't be the answer you give.
Oh, shit.
You gotta answer it. But for today, since we're practicing,
I'm
we're gonna let her slide. No, it's okay. We're being very clear about it. Okay.
How about this? What's something you think I'm avoiding?
Oh shit. What do I think you're
and
avoiding?
I can say if I agree or disagree.
Okay.
With it. I can veto.
Yeah, okay. I don't know if I'm gonna be right, but let's see. I feel like you're pretty intentional and you're like looking at your life. What do I think you're avoiding? I think you're working on it. I don't know if you're avoiding it, but I think we could do it more often. It's like I think that you are like beginning to set some boundaries in different spaces in your life, whether it be work or otherwise. And I think you're beginning to give yourself language for how to set said boundaries. But I don't know if you've set them.
Fair.
So maybe you're avoiding the doing part.
Fair.
Because you 1,000% know what the boundary is and that it needs to be set. So I think that the taking action part on that.
Yeah. I will say that I'm still struggling with how people see me versus how I see myself.
Yeah.
And I'm avoiding having that conversation with multiple people.
So I don't think it's like, I think you are consciously trying to navigate it. So I wouldn't say you're avoiding it. But there's definitely a step in there that I know I've seen you take before that you're not taking it.
Okay.
And I feel like your cards this morning said something similar about actions and taking steps forward.
Yes. Yes.
I'm right? You don't veto? All right.
I don't veto. No.
Okay, great. Okay, cool. Wait, I want to hear what do you think I'm avoiding? I know what I said for myself, but now I'm curious what you think I'm avoiding.
I feel like I would agree with you though.
Yeah, my avoiding? Nice.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. I definitely think that you're avoiding talking your shit, like being confident about your experience. To yourself first.
So weird.
Actually, like, I don't care about the external piece. I care more about yourself. So that's what I would say.
It's very annoying. So I'm like, being aware of a thing you're not doing and then still not doing it is like kind of like insane, making like madness a little bit.
Oh, trust.
So
we get mad at ourselves all day long.
So annoying. I'm like, nobody's in my way with me. I'm trying to move out my way. I'm not even doing it. Anyway, okay. Our last question, which will lead us to our conversation for today.
Yes.
Okay. What are you currently grieving?
I've been thinking about this for a while now. And about 2 weeks ago, I went to an event of an organization that I used to be a part of that is sunsetting. And I'm not necessarily grieving that the organization is closing. But when I was there, I was thinking about, like, how do you honor a transition? And grieving to me is about transitions. It's about loss, and it's also about endings and beginnings. And they did it with so much grace that I wish that I could honor transitions the way that it was done there. And they didn't close the organization because of something horrible. They just knew that it was time. And I think about how wise it is for you to know when something needs to end and to honor that and to listen to it and to embrace it even if it hurts, even if you don't know what's on the other side, all of these things. So I'm definitely just thinking about grieving more generally. And then I would say that I'm definitely grieving academia, like we said, and just my entire experience there, and knowing that it is now fully closed. The chapter has fully been closed, and I have no regrets. I don't have any regrets. I just know that the life that I thought I was going to have is not currently what's happening. And like, I thought I wanted to be a professor, and I was going to be doing research, and I was going to be doing these things. And that's just not what's happening. And I am trusting that there's something else that I need to be doing, in fact. And that's the reason why, like, last fall I applied to get my graduate degree, and I didn't get into any of the schools. And when I got rejected, I wasn't as sad as I thought I was going to be, but I did still grieve the fact that, 5 years ago I wanted that, and it didn't happen. So when I think about grieving, I think about loss and what a past version of me wanted that may not be true anymore.
That's beautiful.
Yeah.
Wait, I actually have a follow-up question before I answer.
Of course.
Do you feel like the experience you had when you went to that event, the organization that was sunsetting, do you feel like part of what seemed like wise or thoughtful is because they knew it was coming versus like sudden loss? You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
Because like I think grieving looks really different, right? Do you think that like it's easier or possible to like do it because you're like aware of what the like end of the line looks like versus something just kind of like coming to you like suddenly?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. I definitely think that there's a difference. Like, sudden loss, like, brings shock. And when you're in a state of shock, everything else fumbles and falls, and it hurts because you didn't know it was coming. I don't necessarily know if it hurts less.
Yeah.
Because you were prepared.
It's still loss. Loss is loss.
Loss is loss. And so I do think there's a difference, but I don't necessarily think that like one outweighs the other feeling.
Yeah.
Because you still don't know what's coming to the other side. And grieving could be about a job, about a person that you lost. It could be about yourself and like who you used to be. Like, grieving takes so many shapes and forms. We can see it in the weather, like through the seasons. And so I think there's a wider way that we can be looking at grief that is not always sad. Like, even when I said like, I want to have this conversation, I was like, I don't want it to be sad. And you reminded me that it doesn't have to be.
Yeah. Because it's as natural as like joy.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think my answer for what I'm grieving, I think I'm always going to be grieving like being a teacher. Like, I think like it was such a fundamental part of the way that I like grew up. Like, I had this idea of being an educator like since like I was like 13. Like, and like I had nothing else. Like, that was the only thing I had television around doing it. So like when I left the classroom, I was like, oh my God, like this thing I worked my literal entire life to do is like something that is like exhausting me that I can't do anymore. And like, I don't know if it'll ever not be sad, Like, I don't regret leaving. I think I definitely needed to. But yeah, it's just like, like I look at it fondly. Like, when I know when the school year ends, like I'm so conscious of like just the, timelines, and like I'm still going to graduations. I'm still writing recommendations. So I'm still connected to this thing that I'm grieving, which I think is like, I don't know if it makes it harder or easier or better, but for me, I think it's been a really good way to grieve this. I didn't want to be disconnected completely. I think that'd make it like, it would make me return. I don't want to return. So I think this balance of like, staying connected has helped me grieve it in a way that feels healthy and like, safe. Yeah, but I think overall, like, I think about grieving the same way I talked about in our previous episode about peaks and valleys, right? Like, there has to be loss for there to be gain. Yeah. There has to be like empty for something to be full, like, and it doesn't change how long the loss stays with you, even after the loss, technically, like, the experience of it passes. Especially with like, if you lose people, like those are, whether it be like to like illness or just like no relationship, like, I don't know, people experience it. I don't know if it feels worse or I don't know what is like a worse experience to know someone exists and is not around you versus like it's just not around. and it sucks, I think, no matter what. And I think what I've learned about grieving, I think we're expanding it a little bit, is like it's forever, right? Yeah. Like it's not a thing that you do and then you're like, all right, like, you know, it comes back in waves, it comes back in different ways, it comes back in like, you know, you see things, you remember people, whatever it may be. And there's just something about trying to find space in your heart to hold it that I think makes it like durable. Like you can do it without it like consuming you so completely. But sometimes you can't. Sometimes you kind of, you know, it takes up your entire time in your day, and that's also okay. But the same way as a peak, the memories change, and you know, the valleys and the peaks that come on either side.
And I think about the other side of it, right? Especially if you lose somebody, I think about how do you honor them for the rest of your life? Yeah. How do you remember them? Do you have pictures of them? Do you remember a story that they told you? Do you remember your last memory with them? Just like keeping them alive through memory is really important. And I remember the first time that I felt grief consciously, I would say, is my grandfather passed away when I was in 8th grade. So I was probably like 13, 14. And I wasn't able to go back to DR. They had me babysitting the children, which is a whole different concern.
Immigrant trauma.
And so I didn't really have time to grieve. I was just in such a state of shock. And I remember that I didn't cry until I was a junior in high school.
Wow.
Almost a senior. And I remember vividly, I was at the park near my house and I just thought about him. And I just started bawling. That was almost 4 or 5 years later.
Yeah.
And I learned such a valuable lesson that day. It's like grief doesn't happen instantaneously.
Most often it doesn't.
Exactly. Most often
you got to survive the thing, like the experience of like all the logistics of it, depending on what the loss is.
Yeah. And to be able to even sit with that emotion, which feels so heavy sometimes and so consuming, is really difficult.
Yeah. I think what I'm thinking about on the other side is like, what do you do with people who are in your life, right? Like if this is what grieving looks like and feels like, and this is how hard it is, like, are you being careless with people who are with you?
Yeah.
And experiences you're having, like, are you archiving? Are you like remembering? Are you enjoying? Are you doing the other things? You know, because I think what makes grief harder, I mean, it's very difficult to begin with, is regret. I think regret and grief together feel really like heavy emotions to carry, you know? So, you know, grieving is going to happen, but hopefully the balance, or like, you know, the peak is also that you are, when you have people and experiences and things in your hands, you're not carelessly holding them in your hands. You're holding them with care and attention and like love and respect and those things, because eventually they do fall through your hands, right? Those things don't belong to you. Your hands just carry things for a time.
Yeah.
So it's like, knowing what you're grieving matters, but knowing what you're like grateful for and joyful for, and, you know, honoring that is here instead of just like, oh, I wish it could have been all that, which is a choice, again, to live a life like that, to always just be kind of like wishing back to things that might have been the case. But when you have opportunity to like make something true in your life, like what step are you taking to bring that experience forward? That makes sense?
Yeah.
My like last follow-up for this grieving question is like, what has been like the most, I guess, important, useful, whatever you call it, lesson you learned from grieving? People, things, experiences.
What I've learned is you should feel the grief. It'll come, it'll go, and to also not feel shame when you don't feel grief, because that often happens, especially when we lose someone, whether it's a friend or something. Or someone has transitioned. And so often I'm like, oh, I don't want to do this thing because I want to honor the fact that they're no longer here, etc. And what I've learned is to keep their memory alive in whatever form or shape it takes. And that could also be for friendships. Like when you lose people, or even relationships, like there are things that remind me of people that used to be in my life. And when I hear a song or I watch something, I think fondly of them. even if we're no longer in each other's lives, etc. And grief is not a bad thing. And it also doesn't have to be all consuming, which sometimes it feels that way, especially in the beginning or in the thick of it. And I feel like it's one of those emotions that is very difficult to sit with. And you know that I'm committed to feeling every emotion. I have very much dedicated my life to having every emotional experience, or allowing myself to, at the very least. And this feels like another area where sometimes we bypass very quickly. Oh, I don't want to feel this feeling. It feels too hard. And so I'm going to go and do something else to numb myself or not think about it. And that doesn't do anyone any good.
Because it'll come back.
It'll come back.
It'll come back angry.
Yeah. So definitely honor is the word that I think about when I think about what I've learned. What's coming up for you?
I think that what I'm thinking about is the difference between choosing to grieve something that you're leaving on your own versus like dealing with grief that comes to you, that is like, you know, put on your plate.
Right.
I think that for me, those two feel different. I've almost had an easier time with the one I haven't chosen. You know? Not easier. I mean, that's relative. Like, it's been obviously difficult, but I think there's something about like the lack of preparedness, or the lack of like the level of shock and the level of like urgently gone out of your life that feels differently challenging than like working up to grieving something that you know is coming. Like for me, when I was leaving schools, I knew I was going to leave, and I don't know if I realized I was going to grieve it, but I knew that I was going to leave. Versus like when somebody passes suddenly or a relationship ends almost abruptly, like there's so much sense making that happens before I feel like for me I'm able to grieve it, because I don't even understand like what happened. So I feel like what I'm thinking about, what I've learned from it, is that there's sense making is a valuable skill. And you can't always find all the answers to anything, even if they're not about grief, you know. And that sometimes you just give yourself an answer, whatever the answer you give yourself is, whatever you can accept as an answer, so you can at least start to grieve something. Sometimes, like, I think I've had experiences where like I've been trying to understand something for so long that I never got to grieve it, because I'm just like trying to understand it. So I'm like, why or how, whatever it is. But that was also a way of like coping, right? Versus like grieving.
But that's like living in your head versus your body.
Right, your body, right. So there's something about like, I think I've learned to like notice when I do that instead of like, this just makes me sad. Like, if anything, I'm upset. Like, I wish this wasn't the case. And that's the feeling that I'm like, you know, not having. So I think what grief has taught me is that it comes. It will touch everyone. It will touch anyone who is existing. And the more connected you are to your body, the sooner you experience it. And I think for me, that has been a slightly more like easier experience. I mean, the other thing that I think we both may be grieving is season 2 is over. You know? And it's not a bad thing. It's a good thing that we wrapped up something we wanted to wrap up. Yeah. And it will come back differently. And let that be a lesson that nothing you grieve is gone, right? Yeah. The energy doesn't go anywhere. It just reorganizes something else.
Yeah. I know I've been thinking a lot about how grief is connected to endings. And for some reason, it reminded me of when Trevor Noah left The Daily Show and he didn't tell anybody. He did it live. He didn't say it to one person because he didn't want anyone to know, or anyone to, you know, start making sense of why he left. Yeah. And I pulled out this quote of something that he said. He said, "Maybe this comes with not being raised in America, but I believe that everything should end. A lot of American businesses and American media is just like, keep it going as long as possible. But I think it's healthy for things to end when they're still in a good place. I want to leave before I'm burnt out, because there are many other things I'd like to do."
I love that.
And that to me is completely a lesson in itself.
Yes. Exactly why I love teaching. Literally like verbatim. Because I was like, I don't want to hate it. I want to leave when I don't hate it. Because if I hate it, I will never return. Yeah. I love that. Thanks, Trevor Noah.
And I feel like a lot of us have a hard time with endings.
Of course.
And see it as this disaster. When in fact, is what you were saying earlier. Some people choose to end a relationship, to end a dream that they no longer want, and there are other things that we want to do. And
It might not be even
two,
a bad relationship. It might be just like this just isn't the right one. Like,
exactly.
It's just not.
Yeah, like this doesn't like fulfill my cup right now.
For as long as it makes sense.
For as long as it makes sense.
This is about grief.
Exactly, it is.
Yeah, but I don't think this is a negative. I don't consider this to be like a negative sentiment. Like
no,
do it for as long as it feels good.
Exactly.
If it doesn't feel good, like drop it. It's okay. Like life is long and short, so
yeah,
act accordingly.
Act accordingly. Yeah.
Yeah.
And grief, endings, loss doesn't have to be a bad thing.
Mm-hmm.
It could be a lesson in itself and just something to look towards.
Yeah, it's release and anything else. It's release.
Yes.
Like in the tarot world, right? Like the death card is a birthing card. Mm-hmm. It's not meant to be seen as like a bad card, right? It's meant to be seen as like things that don't serve you are no longer holding you. Mm-hmm. So that's also a choice. Everything perspective is there. Like you can find a way to read it whatever way. And if sadness comes. Sadness passes. Let it pass and come. Mm-hmm. Don't hold on to either thing so tightly. Yeah. It makes losing it harder.
Mm-hmm. What's one of your takeaways
for myself?
For yourself.
One, I'm really proud of us. I think that you and I as a duo do a great job starting and continuing and doing and iterating as we go, all the things we want to. And I love that about us. It's one of my takeaways. My takeaway also is that there's something exciting about endings, depending on, a lot of iterations, but something really exciting about choosing something new and that being where your focus is. That's my takeaway. Also that this game can be played the same people often, and the answers always change. I thought about these questions so many times since you've been working on them, like since the beginning, and I feel like the answers I had a year ago are like nothing close to the answers that I gave today. So it's just a good example of just like stay in conversation, like always ask questions, even the same ones, like circle back. Like those lessons are always going to be ones that I come back to for us because I feel like it's such a core part of the way that we operate to keep reflecting and thinking about ourselves and how we show up and all those things.
Yeah. I love that. I feel like for me, I am thinking about the opportunity we get to feel all our feelings and how that in itself is an invitation, something that we do not have to choose, and how loss and grief could be something that we allow ourselves to experience for a period of time. And it doesn't have to always be outside of our own control, which is often how it's described. And there is so much excitement in endings for me as well, because every no is a bigger yes. And so when you know what you're saying no to, exactly. When you are sure about your no's, you can also be more sure about your yeses. And every door will close and another door will open. Like all of these metaphors just resonate with me, knowing that we may not know what's on the other side, and it's worthy to open the door and find out. Yeah. And so I'm excited. I feel excited.
I love. Yeah. What about for our viewers? As we wrap up season 2, what do you hope they take away? It can be from this episode or a whole season.
What I hope that people take away from this season in particularly is to ask questions of yourselves and of your friends. Like there are things about you that I didn't know this season and that we're finding out as we go through the process, as we're figuring out what we want to talk about. And to me, friendship is such a beautiful place. Not everybody gets to have deep and meaningful friendships. And to be able to talk to you about things that, I may have thought about on my own, or I may have had one conversation with a random person about it, to be able to come back here, say like, hey, here's what I'm experiencing. Can we talk about it together? What are you thinking? What's your thought process on this? And to truly be a thought partner to each other. So I don't know if that's something that I necessarily want the viewers to like take away, but it's more of our process overall. To listen deeply to whoever's in your life and reflect back to them what they're sharing with you and add nuance add color, add context, so that you can have more colorful conversations in your life, because you deserve it, and we all deserve to have meaningful, deep experiences with one another. And I hope that that's what the game, does too. So we'll see. What are you thinking about for this season? What do you want people to take away?
I mean, literally everything you said.
Okay,
Like,
yay.
ditto, yeah, the color, the context, I think is really super important. I think what I'll add, which feels redundant a little bit of what you're saying, but feels very true. I think there's such value in repetition. Like, I feel like we've both said similar things in different iterations throughout the season, 2 seasons, and I think it just goes to show like how much we were internalizing and listening and like really doing the work of like changing our opinions and our minds about like things that are happening in real time based on conversations we have. I hope that people take away that you can change your mind and move differently because you have more information. And I think that like, I don't know, I think people are like maybe ashamed of like, oh, I said one thing, so now I have to kind of move this way forever. But it's like, you're allowed to be like, hey, I know better. Or like someone gave me perspective I didn't have, and now I get to like, with this new information, make a different decision. And I hope that people feel empowered to not only do that, but to seek out people that help them do that. I think you said this earlier in our season, but your friends should be your teachers. Like I consider you someone I like deeply, deeply respect, and like I consider you an academic. I learn from you every day that I talk to you, and I think if you don't have friends that you feel like you can learn from, like I think you need to expand your circle of people you consider your friends, because you spend your time with people around you. And there's no way that I feel like is close to me in my life that like I can't learn from, that I can't seek a different perspective from. I don't know if I have any like yes men friends. People are gonna be like, Linda, that's crazy, or not, depending on whatever it is. And to your point, I think there's value in like echoing back brilliance. I don't think people see themselves in like positive lights. I think we're kind of socialized to be like, we're the worst. And I think there's such value in like echoing back. Like if you hear me say something like, hey, like I'm noticing you're not able to give yourself credit for these things, right? I think I hope the takeaway is that we do that for each other, and that hopefully you're able to do that for your friends or yourselves. Like there's such value in like, you feel better when you know people are seeing you. So that's my hope, is that people have really good friends, that things are echoed back to them, and that they keep listening to each other, to us, and join us for season 3. We'll see you on the other side.
Woo!
We're wrapping up.
I wish we had champagne.
We're not, some chai. It's a wrap. No more. It's okay.